Hi everyone, I'm Alex Conte, back with some October police log highlights. Buckle up, we're in for a wild ride. Starting on October 1st, MCPD assisted NAFD with a fire alarm in Royal Crest. The cause of the alarm was cooking. On October 2nd, an area coordinator called referencing an unregistered guest. A male subject took off from Deegan East. And also on October 2nd, an officer in Lot M with a male that is causing a disturbance. The male is not associated with Merrimack College, and he was escorted off campus. There's also a fire alarm in South Res House 4, caused by cooking again. You know, I'm starting to think that Merrimack should offer some cooking lessons. And on October 2nd, there were 8 alcohol confiscations, and there's also a non-student arrested for disorderly conduct. On October 5th, an officer requested a tow of a vehicle with multiple citations. And a Dunkin' Donuts manager called reporting a male student that is being rude and not leaving when asked. A caller advised of a loud party and spoke with a student who got excited over the Red Sox victory. I guess that's one way to get in the police log. On October 6th, an officer was out in Lot K and noticed a car parked there that had an Andover landing sticker. Inside the car, he saw paraphernalia, and it was confiscated. On October 7th, a vehicle was issued a citation for running a stop sign. False start. Also on October 7th, a student came to the station because he believes someone stole his iPad and his AirPod Pros. On October 8th, there was a number of males smoking cigarettes on the South Res Quad. And also on October 8th, a complaint came in from a student about the shuttle not coming in on time. And a faculty member called for a well-being check on a student. And then a fire alarm in South Res happened, and it was ruled as mechanical. On October 9th, there were multiple noise complaints in Royal Crest. What else is new? On October 10th, an officer responded to a blue light phone that had called into dispatch. An individual was seen knocking over a trash barrel and running from the responding officer. The individual was found shortly after and served a no trespass order. They were escorted off campus. On October 11th, an individual was turned away by an officer because he was unregistered and he was heading toward the apartments. And the student called saying that she was part of a motor vehicle accident. There were no injuries. Paperwork was exchanged. On October 12th, an officer spoke with a student about some damage to her car. And also on October 12th, a resident called because a blue car was parked in front of their house and the people in the car were smoking. Don't tell Stephen A. I think he'll probably get mad. On October 13th, an employee got stung by a bee, and there was a possibility that could be allergic. North Andover FD was notified. They refused ambulance transport. And then Andover police called to report that a student had called 911 by accident. On October 14th, student security at the 114 crosswalk called to report that a man in a blue shirt did not stop at the crosswalk. A resident student came in to ask if someone could review the camera in Lot K from October 9th because they believed that their camera bag was stolen. On October 15th, officers dispersed a group of students drinking outside of a residence hall. And also on October 15th, MCPD and NAFD checked the area around 114 and Royal Crest for multiple reports of a loud explosion sound. On October 16th, noise complaints in Royal Crest and confiscations galore. What else is new? On October 17th, an anonymous caller reported a group of girls in Lot E took a traffic cone and hit a vehicle with it. Last time I remember, that is not what cones are used for. And also, the fire alarm was maliciously pulled in St. Thomas. You can't do that. And 3 intoxicated individuals refused to leave the apartment. Also, a resident student came in to get info about filing a no contact order. And the fire alarm in the residence hall was caused by burnt food. Y'all gotta keep an eye on your food if you want it to get cooked properly. And a resident in South Res reported a mouse in her room. Facilities were advised. Maybe it was Mickey just trying to get some people to come to Disney. And a student had an ankle injury and refused transport. On October 18th, there were multiple drug paraphernalia confiscations. An officer checking O'Brien checked the elevator after the emergency line rang into MCPD. On October 19th, an officer stopped a vehicle on Ahern Avenue, warning for a stop sign violation to residential student. On October 20th, a student came in to speak with an officer about past relationship issues. On October 21st, an officer dispersed a student skating on the rink after being told to get off the rink by a staff member and not complying. What an absolute goon. On October 22nd, the officer responded to reports of a student that threw a beer can at another student. This is not target practice. On October 23rd, a student's toilet wasn't flushing well. A work order was placed. Also on October 23rd, there was a Merrimack statue in the pond of Royal Crest. The statue was from outside of Castro Hall. Officers responded. What I want to know is, how the heck did they lift up that statue? An unregistered guest was found in an altercation and running away from the area, and they damaged a parked vehicle. Officers arrested him for, ready? Resisting arrest, vandalism, disorderly conduct, potential assault, and battery. I guess that's one way to get the hook. And roadblocks from around the 114 exit were damaged. What did they ever do to you? RAs called to report that a male individual was refusing to identify himself and took off running with another male in the direction of Royal Crest. Officers were with the two males, and they were just going to Royal Crest. An officer spoke to a student who was seen moving cones around Walsh Way. She placed the cones back in their original spot. Cue the cleanup song. A student called to report that she had been waiting for the shuttle for 20 minutes. The shuttle drove right by the station and didn't stop. Officers were advised and spoke to the driver, and the info was passed along to the parking department. On October 24th, all of the trash bins in the senior apartments were dumped over. On October 25th, a motor vehicle was warned for driving too fast. On October 26th, there is a smell of marijuana in a residential hall. Nothing found upon arrival. And also on October 26th, there was yet another motor vehicle stop, this time in front of Austin Hall. A verbal warning was given for a stop sign violation. A caller requested drug confiscation, marijuana confiscated from a male residential student. On October 27th, officers responded to an individual who passed out from overheating. And also on October 27th, a student was transported to Lawrence General Hospital after having a seizure. On October 28th, a vehicle was towed from campus for accumulating citations. Not good. And now for Halloween weekend. On October 29th, an officer turned away an unregistered guest at the gate. Also on October 29th, Elm Street Towing was called to tow another car. And then the fire alarm went off in Deegan West and NAFD was called. The cause was mechanical and the alarm and panel were reset. And then a neighbor called to report a man screaming at a woman in a gray Toyota Highlander parked on Rock Ridge Road. Spoke with the individuals, no issues. Can't we all just hold hands and sing Kumbaya? And then MCPD received a call that an individual who was trespassed from campus was currently on campus. Student called to report that they hit a vehicle in Lot H and took off towards Lot K, and they spoke with the driver involved. On October 30th, the fire alarm went off in St. Anne's, unknown cause, and then an RA asked for assistance breaking up a party. The door to M Tower was ripped off, and a work order was submitted. Did Hulk visit Merrimack and nobody told me? There were multiple unregistered guests, and caller advised of a student trying to fight several others. The officers located 3 male subjects outside the basement door to the police station. What did you think was going to happen? On Halloween night, October 31st, a caller advised of a possible fight. Nothing found upon arrival. Come on, shake hands. A student called in an unwanted guest. The student was advised to leave the area. A caller advised of a fight in the SAC parking lot. Resident student transported for head injuries. A student called requesting an ambulance to the Monacan lobby. A resident was transported for injury. A student's mother called reporting an officer to wake up her son. Contact student, no issues. I guess that's one way to get a wake-up call. And then an RA called in several students caught playing beer pong in the area. Officers located subjects near Cascia. And that is all for the October police log. See you next time.